Swim closer, children. I have a story for you.
Story time!
Tell it.
I will. Okay. Once upon a time, very, very deep in the clear blue sea, there lived a little mermaid.
I know this story.
Maybe. But this story has been told by humans and merfolk for hundreds of years, and every time it's told, it's a little bit different.
Tell it, please.
Okay, so this little mermaid lived with her big sisters and her father.
King Triton, ruler of the ocean.
That's right. Her father ruled over all the creatures of the ocean, that is, except the wicked sea witch who was jealous of his power. Now, this little mermaid was a bright, thoughtful girl who was always asking questions about the world above the ocean. She carefully collected and studied all of the land objects that sank down to the ocean floor, like a ship's anchor, a fork, and especially a statue of a boy who had no fish tail, but instead 2 long legs on which to stand. At last, the little mermaid came of age and was allowed to rise up and explore the surface of the ocean. And there, she saw an enormous ship where a human prince was celebrating his birthday as well. As the little mermaid watched in wonder, a terrible storm struck, and the crashing waves knocked the prince from his ship. But the brave little mermaid battled the waves and swam with the prince to a nearby beach. Once the prince was safe on shore, the little mermaid sang him a song more beautiful than any human had ever heard before. But just as the prince was about to open his eyes, a search party of humans arrived and the little mermaid leapt back into the sea.
So the prince never got to see who saved his life.
That's right. But the prince was determined to find this brave young woman whose beautiful voice he would never forget. And the little mermaid, who had also fallen in love with the prince, was now more determined than ever to find a way to live on land.
Sea witch.
That's right. The little mermaid went to the sea witch and begged her for a way to become human. The sea witch agreed to give the little mermaid legs, but only if the little mermaid gave the witch her beautiful voice. And worse, if the prince did not return the little mermaid's love and ever married another, the little mermaid would have to return to the ocean and belong to the sea witch forever.
Why would she agree to that?
Well, the little mermaid was brave and determined, and she might not have thought through all of the bad things that could happen. Plus, she was in love.
Ew.
In any case, the little mermaid agreed to the sea witch's deal and was given legs. And finally able to leave the ocean, the little mermaid was thrilled to be able to explore the wide world above. She met the prince, who thought that there was something special about this young woman, although she could no longer speak to tell the prince that she was the one who saved his life. Still, the prince welcomed the little mermaid into his palace, where he was struck by her kindness, her sense of humor, and especially her interest in absolutely everything.
Uh-oh.
That's right. The sea witch grew worried that the prince would marry the little mermaid, so she used her wicked magic to give a visiting princess the little mermaid's voice. And upon hearing that beautiful voice, the prince thought that he had found the young woman who saved his life, and so he made plans to marry the human princess.
Couldn't she write him a note or draw a picture or something?
Well, the Little Mermaid did have one possibility. The Little Mermaid's sisters had gone to the sea witch and given her all of their beautiful hair in exchange for a dagger, which the Little Mermaid could use to stab the human princess and stop the wedding. But even though the Little Mermaid knew that she would have to return to the ocean and belong to the Sea Witch, the Little Mermaid would not hurt the human princess. On the day of the wedding, the Sea Witch came to claim the Little Mermaid. But the brave Little Mermaid used the magical dagger to stab the Sea Witch. And with that blow, the Sea Witch lost her power over the Little Mermaid and her voice returned. And the prince realized that it was the Little Mermaid who had saved him. And together, they battled the Sea Witch.
The Sea Witch was defeated.
That's right! The Little Mermaid was able to stay human, and she and the prince became wonderful rulers over their kingdom on land. But they also liked visiting her family's kingdom under the sea.
And they lived happily ever after?
Yes, they all lived happily ever after.
That story was okay. Do you know any scarier ones?
Well, once upon a time,